For the love of the Emperor, please stop throwing grenades at the feet of your battle brothers. Yes, I mean, sometimes I'm also guilty of this. It's definitely something I'm aware of. Sometimes, though, I kind of risk it, really depending on how many enemies are over there. The one way you can get away with this, if your teammate is in a proper execution, like they're doing the execution, feel free to throw your grenade because they are in an iframe situation. Not to mention they're also going to get armor, so they should be in a better spot for that. However, if you see your teammate like currently swinging their weapon, because yeah, they're within melee range, be very careful with the grenades, especially when the contested health changes come through, which won't be next patch. Which is great because it gives us some time to kind of theorize how to, work around it. But for the most part, this issue, when they decide to switch the contested health regeneration, this issue can potentially become a larger problem because now a lot of people are going to be in melee range just to get their contested health back. So if you get hit with a grenade and it staggers you, potentially you're going to lose contested health. And yes, that can happen even without the contested health changes. So I always find it, pretty warranted to cover this. But I have seen this a few times recently, which is a little bit concerning. But again, we also have secure stockpile. So new perk that gives us more grenades thrown. Yeah, this tends to happen. Lost Fall of Atreus on Absolute 4 times in a row because some players kept throwing grenades at me, causing me to either get hit by the Hellbrute's hammer or its AoE blast afterwards. All right. Now, with this particular example, definitely keep an eye on the grenades on the ground that are thrown from snipers, because yeah, those Chaos Gaunts can throw grenades, so be careful of that. But 4 times in a row from friendly fire grenades, do you think that's true? That's wild. You'd think when the players in question have the shoulder pad that you get after completing them, all on Absolute, they would know how to not do this. But here we are, needing to repeat this tip again. Grenades, frags, cracks, and meltas stagger your battle brothers and only stagger majors enemies in Absolute. Tossing them at a Terminus or Extremis enemy that a brother or cousin is fighting is the worst thing you can do. Oh, that's actually a very good note. Yeah, I never throw grenades if they're fighting an Extremis enemy. It's normally if they're surrounded by like bone swords or something. If they're surrounded by a lot of enemies where I'm like, okay, I don't see you currently meleeing anything, I'm just gonna throw this grenade, it's gonna stagger everything, but it will give you some room to do whatever you want. I mean, I guess it depends. Now, honestly, I should just be more careful of this. Because, again, considering the contested health changes, the contested health changes are definitely going to make this a larger issue. Just because there's going to be a lot more people looking to run into melee range just to get their contested health back. Sheesh, man. Yeah, no, this is actually really a really large issue when it comes to... They need to take this out of the game, maybe. If they change up the contested health, dude, grenade stagger should probably be taken out of the game. Rant over. Have a great day, brothers, cousins. Yes, you too. I definitely wanted to discuss this because myself and other players have been doing this. I have recently lost contested health to somebody throwing a grenade. Not to mention, yeah, there's been a video where I was going to get like a Biovore like execution or something, and I got stunned. It was just the whole thing. But it doesn't matter. Anything that happens during the operation, if we still get a victory, I don't really dwell on it. If we get a victory, that's the thing that matters. However, what I will dwell on is the impending changes to contested health and how more often we are going to be put into a position to get hit by a friendly grenade and then lose the contested health that we were trying to get in that scenario. There is nothing better than facing off with the Carnifex, parrying its attacks, and dodging its charges. There is nothing worse than a teammate throwing a grenade at the Carnifex when you are doing this. Yeah, now, this is probably the prime example of when not to throw a grenade. Dude, especially considering grenades barely do anything against Terminus enemies, I find this is just not a good grenade to throw. Especially if you consider, like, the Hive Tyrant fight. Whenever mobs start to spawn in for that fight, that is when you use your grenades and use it on the mobs. 100% of the times, if I'm throwing my grenade and I accidentally hit my teammate, It's because there's a lot of enemies there. It has nothing to do with the priority target, because if it did, I would be looking to take out the priority target myself and not with the grenade. I'd be looking for parries, headshots, that sort of thing. But yeah, sometimes, you know, hitting a teammate with like a Melta in siege mode, that can stagger them, but for the most part, it should take everything out. I do think, though, you can get staggered by like a Melta in siege mode and then get grabbed, which would be unfortunate. However, I don't think there's that many ways you can anticipate that. But still, be very careful with the grenades. Just remember, if there's a Carnifex, the grenade that is hitting the Carnifex is not worth it. It is not worth it. Just jump in there. You're much better off just landing a gunstrike or something. You know what I mean? Like, dude, with the Carnifex, or just some headshots. With the Carnifex, if you throw a grenade and your teammate's like meleeing them, parrying them, or anything, the Carnifex is gonna eat that grenade and then eat your teammate, and that's not gonna be great. That's not gonna feel great. Dude, seriously though, like, oh sheesh, man, this can definitely be an issue, you know, with the contested health changes down the line. So I am very glad that I revisited this. I've definitely kept track of, if I throw a grenade and it hits one of my teammates, I just want to make sure that they stagger the same way the enemies around them are, so they can just shake out of it. Still though, I just have to point out that it's just not that approachable. Sometimes you're just better off jumping into the mobs yourself and, yeah, parrying whatever your teammate can't parry. You're probably better off doing that. So, hey, maybe I need to relax with my grenade throws. Again, though, it's really just, it's a very rare moment where I feel like I need to throw a grenade to help my teammate. But still, I've never thought that when it comes to a Carnifex, because I know for a fact, unless he's scanned, those grenades aren't going to do anything to him at all. Dude, the Carnifex is going to eat those. Nothing breaks my heart more than launching a bunch of grenades at a Thousand Suns warp spawn and seeing the assault jetpack after them. It's like, wait, no, crap, he's not gonna be happy when he lands. Nah, he should be fine. He should be fine now. I mean, he has iframes on landing, so he should be okay, to be completely honest. Not to mention, he could also be charging his attack in midair. But yeah, I've been in this situation as well. I've noticed assault players themselves throw grenades before they jump up. So if you notice them throw a grenade before they jump up, I mean, yeah, you can just throw a grenade if you want. But yeah, still, I definitely agree that if you throw a grenade and you see like a Vanguard grapple in there, that can happen. That can happen. And sometimes that's by accident. The original poster here said they lost 4 runs in a row to friendly grenade stagger. That sounds a little bit hard to believe, just a little bit. Maybe there's 1 or 2 there, but definitely he might be getting hit by grenades from these snipers. So, sheesh, unless he's playing Grapple Vanguard and every time he grapples in, he's just getting hit with the grenade. Saber needs to make us immune to teammate grenades and Melt-A-Bomb stagger. It's just unnecessary and annoying. I got hit like this today too, but I'm always in the middle of the fight, which is also the best place to toss grenades. Yeah, fair point. Like, how can I be mad at my teammates for doing their job? Saber needs to change it along with things like stun lock and contested health. Well, dude, yeah, 100%. I believe that if the devs decide to revamp how contested health works, which it does seemingly seem to be the case. But yeah, seriously though, the devs are definitely thinking about revamping contested health. I think if they do that, they should take out grenade stagger. They should definitely take out friendly grenade stagger, because the amount of times people are going to rush enemies to get their contested health back, it's going to leave very little moments to actually throw a grenade. I feel like, yeah, definitely getting staggered by a teammate's grenade is going to be 2 times more risky with the new contested health changes. Because right now, let's say you get staggered by a grenade, you have some contested health, that's a little bit annoying. At the very least, you can stop what you're doing, find an enemy to shoot, and get some contested health back. With the new changes, maybe in patch 11, we will see. The PTS has to come out first anyway. Yeah, with the new changes, this situation, you're going to get probably like half of the amount of your contested health back. That's how I look at it. I mean, the way I'm doing the math in my head is, how much contested health do I get right now for a melee swing? Well, that's similar for like how ranged weapons are going to look. it is effectively half the contested health you're going to regenerate. So, yeah, I definitely think they should take out Grenade Stagger when they decide to rework contested health, 100%.